and John meet with an attorney to start the adoption process for your stepson, Jaden.
I understand we need to talk about a step-parent adoption.
Yes, John's son, Jaden. He had a mom that was not around. For him, it was a lot to process, and I've really wanted to adopt him for a very long time. We sat down with the adoption attorney, and she was basically just like, yeah, like, we'll serve her this many times, like, legally, and if she answers, she can either fight it or give up her parental rights, and then we just move forward. They have to serve your birth mother with papers. She could fight to not have me adopt you. So the hardest part of it was like was serving his birth mother, because that is obviously like—
You have to catch her at the right time,
and like, we don't know where she is, so like you have to find like the last known address and like all these like legalities of the adoption process, and then they finally served her, and we didn't hear anything.
and she had no problem with it.
She didn't, so she had, I think it was 30 days. She had to answer from the date she was served.
Wow.
And she never responded, which is so sad.
Which means that you automatically win. Oh my God. That's sad.
Yeah, it is. It's so sad, but I'm happy that we were able to move forward with it and that I was able to adopt him, because like that for me has just been something I've always wanted to do. I remember like when he was 8 years old, no, he was 9 or 10. It was right after Don and I got married. And he comes home and he's like, oh yeah, we're talking about like adoption in school. And like I told my friends I'm adopted. I'm like, why would you tell them that, Jay? He's like, well, you and Dad got married and like you adopted me.
Aww.
And I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetie, but like that's not how it works. I'm like, you're my son no matter what. I said, but I legally have not adopted you. And that's like when I was like,
I have to do this.
yeah. Like that has never left my mind.
Oh, that's sweet though. You have a really good like you're his mom, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
We should all know when there's a snake in the group. I hope none of you revealed anything to this beast. That's the text I sent on February 27, 2022.
Laura, I called her to see, you know, like who she's been talking to, because she leaked the personal text messages that Margaret sent their friend group.
Because that was the text I sent to her and all my Tenafly friends. Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm so sorry to write this, but Laura Jensen, who is on this group text, who I've brought into our group, has unfortunately attempted to insert herself in my employment and contacted and met with my castmates, Jennifer Aiden. I didn't add Teresa in there at that point. I just said my castmates, Jennifer Aiden, to undermine me. Because she went to Jennifer's house, by the way. It wasn't Teresa's house. She went to Jennifer's house.
Laura was trying to get in touch with me and Teresa to just tell us stuff.
To lay dirt on our ex-best friend?
Isn't that wild?
If you choose to associate with her, please do not include me. This is what I wrote to my ex-best friend, which I included my husband on it, Julius, our hairdresser, because she involved him in the drama, not happening, and her husband. I said, Laura, I've heard that you have contacted Teresa and Jennifer to undermine me. Your intention all along was disingenuous. To try and hurt my career is sick, capital sick. You are so desperate to get on this show. Everyone warned me about you. They saw through it. I did nothing but lift you up. Live with yourself. You will never have true happiness. You think this could stay secret? Everyone is loyal to you, ? This is the lowest you have sunken. You need help and church. Since then, she's blocked me, couldn't confront me. I said, answer the phone, you fucking coward.
Was it cathartic to send this out?
It was. It was very cathartic to send it out. It was cathartic to say something to Jennifer.
You know what? There's a lot of that Elle said that I will never repeat.
Like Laura's saying, accurate. Listen, I had nothing to hide. I called Melissa immediately. I sent the copy of the text messages, what I sent to Melissa, to Dolores, to Jackie. I told them straight out front what had happened.
Laura was telling me Margaret told her some rumor that somebody that works with both of them. He opened the back seat of a car and he saw Melissa in the back seat. She was making out with another guy.
This was all out there before last reunion. Come on.
How did the other women react to like the text being leaked?
They didn't care.
Yeah.
They knew I sent it. What was so bad about that text? That's a great text. I'm fucking badass. I'm proud I sent that text. What does that prove? It's from a year ago. I think it actually validates and shows the real truth.
Rachel, you became closer with Margaret during Jaden's adoption process.
It's really nice to be able to connect with somebody that went through a very similar situation that I went through. You don't understand it unless you've lived it and you've been through it.
We're very similar because, you know, I raised my stepkids. The kids needed me because their mom didn't live here, and I felt like I needed a family to love, and they needed someone to love them. But it was the happiest time of my life, so it wasn't hard at all. I always say she's a young mom, but an old soul. And there's something about Rachel that's so special. So that's why I relate to her so much, because I was a young mom, 24. And I had 8-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-old, and they were my whole life. Rachel's biological kids, I have biological son, I have stepchildren, but they're my kids. So I love that she wants to adopt Jaden because he's been in her life forever. And he calls her mom, and it's so sweet.
She was my age exactly when she met her stepkids and when I met Jaden. Her situation was a little bit different. The mother was still in the picture, and there was other components that I thank God didn't have to deal with.
Their mom wasn't in the picture. She lived in Florida. We had full custody of the kids. You know, she didn't want to give them up for adoption or anything like that. You know, I was their full-time mom forever.
I remember her specifically saying, like, you know, it's really nice that you're doing this, like, for him and for you and for your relationship. Like, I was never able to do that for my kids, and I wish that I could have.
I just said to her, I know she was nervous. You know, the biological mom was going to come out of the woodwork. And I said, Rach, don't worry. This is meant to be. He has a beautiful life with you and John and the little kids, because she couldn't give him that. And Rachel can. You know, Rachel and John can. It takes a special person to raise another person's children.